Guys, Wednesday. How's it going? Yeah, it's Wednesday. Wasn't a brew review last night. I was too busy working on that Mind Bender Ghetto giveaway. I mean, nothing, and I mean nothing, says love like a high point. It's got like gouges and shit all over it. Tried to use it as a bottle opener, but it seems like nowhere quite worked. Really had high hopes for prying it right there, but I suppose you could just do the thing that everybody does with a cigarette lighter. I personally don't know these magical tricks. But, yeah, I mean, shit. I'm thinking about getting rid of all those other pistols and just keeping this. What are we looking at today? 9/4 of 15. Steve put the date on it. This is the last one from Steve Bush over at Steve Bush. He used to review gun stuff, but lately brew reviews. And I think the best ones are any one that Jesse's not in. Get Jess. Ding dong! Hey, motherfucker, what were you saying about me? I'll say, please, can I see your belly button? This one is Coffee Nemesis, an Imperial Stout. It's 9%. It's from Elk Valley Brewing Company. What can I tell you about this? I can tell you Steve said he didn't like it. The children. Got a mag in for the Desert Eagle 50 AE. The factory mags will run you, depending on where you go. A lot of times, actually, it's kind of cool because they're not too bad as far as prices go. But Midway USA, I went over there and it was just like, okay, it's not the most expensive magazine, but it's definitely not the cheapest. They're the factory OEMs are $47 plus shipping, so you're going to spend more than $50 a piece. Then I noticed Pro Mag, and Pro Mag, that's like the Desert Eagle mags, 5 stars. The Pro Mag, 1. I'm like, nah, I'm not even going to bother with those pieces of shit. Pro Mag seems to get it right. Some things they do seem to work really well, and some seem to suck ass. So I wasn't going to spend the money on the Pro Mags for the Desert Eagle. And then I noticed Checkmate. They were about $10 a mag less and had a very high rating. I think they were a 4.5 or a 5 star also. So it's very dark. Try to multitask here. It's very dark. And it immediately smells like you just flipped open the coffee maker. You know, like, say after you drank a pot of coffee and it had a chance to cool down, maybe 4, 5, 6 hours later, and you opened up the little door on top and sniffed. It smells like coffee. Coffee and some malts. I don't know, maybe just a little tinge of molasses. So, but I noticed the Checkmate ones were sold out, but they would notify you if you wanted to be when they got them in stock. I got notified last week. What's today? Probably Saturday. And I placed an order for one. I figured I'd just, hopefully they weren't going to fly off the shelves, check one out. And it showed up today. I'll show you. Oh, for God, the children. Jerry, Christopher. By the way, I know he never comes over here and watches this shit, but Christopher, along with company, did a entry for the Josh's GoPro giveaway. I realize there's going to be the typical people out there that will say that, first of all, I don't have any influence in it. I told Josh that we'd help by throwing in another GoPro, and but if you check out Christopher Alone with Company's entry into the I haven't watched very many, so there might be some really creative ones. I really need to go over and check out some more of them. But his entry is absolutely outstanding. And I won't give it away, but the end, he nails it 100%. And I dedicate this brew review completely to my friend, Christopher, Alone with Company. YouTube is a weird forum, and thanks to YouTube, I, other than Chuck, feel that I have met some of the most incredible people. Nothing against my local friends, but I don't have a single local friend that has the passion for everything that I'm interested in. Yeah, I got one buddy who's into things with engines, and we do snowmobiling and motorcycling. And I've got another buddy. Well, I bought his boat, so he's useless to me now. Just kidding, Greg. And my buddy Steve, who I've known a long time, and time will never disrupt that friendship. But you guys that have met through this weird forum called YouTube and the internet are more than friends. It's like a brotherhood that can only be described as family. And Chris is 100% right. It's too bad the little shit doesn't live a little bit closer. When we first started talking years and years and years ago, we were like, awesome, I'm in Minnesota, you're in Wisconsin, yeah! Hit the Google calculate on the maps program, and it was like, you gotta be kidding me. He's one state away, and the farthest possible point to get to. But you guys, cheers. And if Steve's right and this one sucks, I just wasted a great cheers on a shit beer. So let's cross our fingers that well, there's definitely some coffee in there. First thing you notice is actually, yeah, Imperial Stout. Well, it has a like a light, heavy, or a medium light mouthfeel. Carbonation is about right. First thing you get is that great, big, tremendous coffee hit. Like, if you actually started chipping on cue, started fishing chunks of coffee grounds out of your teeth, it wouldn't surprise me. It is that intense of a coffee flavor. But here's the problem. If you've ever had like a espresso or something, Christine has a espresso machine, and which is really funny as a complete side note, if I make coffee, I just set the burr mill grinder You know, I'm about to make 12 cups of coffee. I figured they got this shit right. Slide it over to where it says 12 cups and hit the grind button. Then I pour that into a filter and put 12 cups of water in the reservoir and flip the switch. And the coffee is awesome. Do I think that you could stand a fork up in it? I don't think so, but I like my coffee with a good bold kick to it. Actually, it's sitting over there. It became sporadic. I should bring it to the job site. We bought a new Cuisinart coffee maker to replace the old Cuisinart, and cost per feature, per coffee making, filtration, blah, blah, blah. I really like the Cuisinarts. But if you make like an espresso, there's that certain characteristic to the coffee, the intensity. It's what you want. This is more like those, it's not really fair to say used ground flavor, but sort of right there, you know. It doesn't have a, I've had some heavy coffee tasting Imperial Stouts, and it was that really nice, intense espresso kind of coffee flavor. This is just like, just put more coffee in the coffee maker. It'll all be okay. And openly, as big of a fan as I am of coffee, I will admit that the Imperial Stouts that border on the intense coffee side are probably the least of my favorites. I like the ones that are more of a blend, more of a little tongue odyssey, if it may be. A little malts and chocolate, and maybe even variations of the chocolates come out. And then coffee is in there somewhere in the background going, yoo-hoo, got a little coffee for you, but not too much. Granted, if you're going to buy an Imperial Stout that says right on it, Coffee Nemesis. Maybe if you don't like an intense coffee, then you'll stick away from it. Me, I don't mind it as a thing, but it's the kind of coffee. It's like, it should say like shit coffee beans Nemesis, not like really fantastically awesome coffee beans Nemesis. I never did ask Steve if he was a coffee drinker. I mean, like I just admitted, I am. I like coffee. I will, when she's not around, every now and then make myself an espresso, and then I hold that little cup with my pinky finger out. But it's not the intensity, it's kind of the flavor of the coffee in it that is falling short. So let's just get past that. Past that heavy coffee hit, the middle is a little bit more coffee, but then a little bit of a sweetness starts to come out of there. Might be molasses. And beyond that, maybe a wee bit of chocolate. But by this point, you're just like coffee. 9%, non-existent. Really don't. There's no warming. There's no burn. There's my first gulp. Kind of the look on my face. Not only was the intensity of the coffee there, but there was this kind of weird, kind of follow through aftertaste during the after swallow. The after swallow party. And I've noticed as I'm drinking this that I'm not getting that anymore. I'm just getting the coffee, excuse me, the coffee and the more coffee, and then the like molasses sweetness and the roasted malts, a little bit of chocolate in there, but it pretty much leaves you with the coffee. But it is Coffee Nemesis. So if you're really, really into coffee, like say Folgers, not like something good like Caribou, for instance, and not Starbucks. Not just politically not Starbucks, but Starbucks, everything I've ever tried from them, they burn their beans during the roasting process, and it just tastes like shit. I am not a Starbucks fan, but politically, I think, like if I owned a company, well, capitalism is a thing. Do I strive for staying neutral and just having a product? See, that's kind of a weird gray area, because I'd like to think if I had an aggressive company that was doing well, I'd come flat out and say it's either the Second Amendment or go shove somebody else's product up your ass, because I don't want your business. But it's nice to have your business keep going. The analogy is always with actors and actresses. You know, there's so many of them that I really like their acting ability, but they're political midgets, and the battery is about to die. But due to the fact that I can do this, you will never know. You know, during that time period of switching out the battery, I could have logged into AsianMidgetHub.com, but I didn't. So, coffee, Nemesis Imperial Stout. I guess it's one of those things where if you get it and really, really hate it because you didn't like the coffee part of it, it's kind of up front with them. I didn't read the back. It's not going to sway my E-scale prediction. Made from an English roasted barley to give that dry roasted and slight coffee flavor. Rich chocolate caramel and Munich malts round out the flavor profile. Oats bring the body and mouthfeel. Ooh, it actually says mouthfeel. We wanted for this stout. We also upped the ante and aged the great beer on whole coffee beans. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. It's the slight coffee flavor. Okay. This is the part where, oh, I thought you were done.
I thought you were done.
See,
I didn't hear anything.
what did I just say? I just said, and when she gets down here, she'll say, I thought you were done.
Well, I didn't hear anything.
That's because I knew you were hovering, so we get really quiet. Everybody ducks to surprise you as you come downstairs.
Surprise!
On the E scale, I'm gonna give this a 7. I don't know what Steve gave it, but I would not get it again. The intensity of the coffee isn't the problem. The flavor of the coffee. If she made me an espresso that you could stand a fork up in, that is a great flavor. Of course, we also use Caribou coffee beans, and this was more like really strong Folgers. Tomorrow, if there is a tomorrow, there wasn't a yesterday.
So you got a different beer flag up, huh?
Yeah, I just switched it around. Got the one from Tardisius and the one from the Jimbo-Matic. With Halloween coming up, do I save it, or I think I might get closer to the weekend. Pumpkin beer that was bottled in rum casks, and it's 18%.
Alcohol?
Yes.
Oh, good night, Irene.
This will actually be the first and maybe only pumpkin beer reviewed, and partially that's my fault and my wallet's fault. You can go over to Keyport, and they had a area that was nothing but pumpkin beers. The problem is As I calculated that it would cost me $275 to review all of them, because 4 you could buy in singles, and all the rest were 4-packs or 6-packs. And that is just way too much frickin' pumpkin for me. Let's just stay in this as a comparison. Here's another. That was from Stephen Bush. Thank you, Stephen. You were right. That one sucked. I mean, it was a 7. It was partial suckage. We'll stick with one that Tom, my buddy Tom, sent me. See, Tom, I don't know if you want your shit promoted or not. I don't mean any disrespect. I know you're a watcher and a good guy and not like some freaky troll like Chuck. But
Again with truck.
this one is from Tom. This one is from Mickler and Tom. And this is called Black Hole. No, I won't say what's on my mind. Black Hole, stout brewed with coffee. So another one, but this one is 13.1%. So we'll take a look at this Black Hole. I'm sure you've all seen something like this. Heavy, probably more than most of us. Oh, wait a second. No, wait a second. I got that confused. This is Black Hole. That was Bunghole. Never mind. So I'll look at that tomorrow. Otherwise, I'm sure by now my pizza is getting cold.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I never got to finish my story. The Checkmate mags. This one is the stock Desert Eagle mag. And this one is a Checkmate mag. They pretty much look the same. I was actually having a problem with both of the mags, but due to the fact that I'm awesome,
In your own mind.
neither of the stock mags would actually do that. They would lock open though when you were shooting and they was really aggressive, but the springs I think are getting a little weak in there, and I just took them apart and cleaned them and, you know, gave them a little tug. But these Checkmate mags seem legit. Well, you know, there's only really one way to find out, and then I have to go.
Oh, stop it.
It's supposed to hold 7, so let's see. Some may say, what the hell's the point of that? That's only one more in the revolver. But a big bore revolver usually holds 5 shots.
6.
The Casull holds 5. You know how big that cylinder would be if... Okay. 7 rounds. Yeah. Seems to work. Stay frosty, bitches! Oh, who am I? Okay, guys. We'll take a look at a Black Hole tomorrow.
No comment.
Cheers, everybody. And again, I do dedicate this brew review to that little pansy alone with company.
Cheers, Lars, wherever you are.